Hi, I'm Heather Gamm with Bremer County Conservation. My videographer is Angie All, and we are here today to teach you a little bit about prairies and monarch butterflies. We specifically talk about monarch butterflies in the fall of each year because they do an amazing migration route to Mexico. And so we are hoping to maybe catch them with a net. But first we have to figure out why we have to wait until the fall to be able to do all of this stuff. Well, monarchs go through a life cycle, okay? So they're gonna start their life as a little teeny tiny egg laid on one of the milkweed plants that's out here at Babcock Woods in southeast Waverly. And they're going to hatch out of that little tiny egg and become a caterpillar. And they may not even have those yellow bright colors to start with, but they are going to hatch out of that little egg and be a caterpillar. So if I'm a monarch caterpillar, what might I look like? Well, actually, they have gohawk or hawkeye colors where they're yellow and black and white. Then they make a chrysalis, and that chrysalis usually hangs from another plant or some other kind of object, and it's very bright green with really gold dots on it. So it's very beautiful. About 12 days they stay in that little sleeping bag of a chrysalis. Their body completely changes into a liquid and they reform their entire body into a butterfly. When they come out then, they look like they've been stuffed in your pocket for days, but they stretch their wings out and pump them up with blood and things like that so that they can have those wings stretched out, and then they start to fly around. Well, and they'll fly wherever they were laid. So that could be out here at Babcock Woods. Now today we're going to figure out a little bit more about the migration to Mexico. So I have a book that I usually recommend for young children called Gotta Go, Gotta Go. And that is one that kind of tells about the migration route and how that works. And it also is neat because it helps moms and dads figure it out too. So these monarchs, they've been laying eggs and having babies and all this all summer long. Lots of life cycles since May, and now, just now, at the end of August, they actually are going to start doing their thing where they're going to be migrating. Have they ever been to Mexico before? No. Are they going to be able to take an airplane there? No. Are they going to be able to follow like a mama bird? No. So how do they do it? It's over 1,600 miles from Waverly, Iowa to where they migrate in Mexico. We're not 100% sure, but we do have some information that because we have been tagging monarchs for so incredibly long with this little bitty teeny tiny sticker, that there's a professor in Kansas at the University of Kansas who has collected all this data for 20-some years about butterflies that are caught and that have had a tag placed on their lower wing. They talk about migration routes, they figure out how long it takes them, and we know 100% that they arrive in Mexico even with this little tag on. We get that question a lot about whether or not the butterflies can really make it all the way to Mexico. And the answer is yes, they can make it all the way to Mexico, over 1,600 miles with no navigation other than themselves. So that's pretty amazing that they're an insect and that they can do that. There's only really two insects that I know of or can think of that are able to do that, and that's the dragonfly and the monarch butterfly. So, and it's only certain species of dragonfly as well, I should point out. So. All right, so we would want to tag a butterfly. How would we do that? Well, we'd take our tags with us. We can grab our net, okay, and we can go out into the prairie. Now you'll notice that maybe you can see my wings back there. Look at that. I'm a beautiful butterfly too. So if you come to our program, sometimes you can get the chance to wear the butterfly wings as well. So we have a few things here in the prairie that we would be able to catch a butterfly on, and they might be nectaring here because obviously it's a long ways, right, to go to Mexico. So they might be on this butterfly weed, which is this bright orange one right here. And there's some goldenrod out here too. So I'm just going to step in here. Goldenrod is over here. And that's another one that they can sit on. That one's, oh, sorry, this time of year as well. So how would I do it? How would I catch a butterfly if he was, let's say, sitting right there? Well, what I would do is I would take my net, I would bring it over the top of the plant, just like that, hoping the butterfly's under there. I have to lift up my net so the butterfly flies where? Does he fly down or does he fly up? Well, his instinct is to fly up, so I trap him. I grab this part of the net, and where's my butterfly? Is he between my hands or she? Yes, certainly is. And so then I bring him back to where I have my tags, and then we can tag the butterfly. So I might walk out of the prairie like this, and then I would gently have to reach into my net. This is the part that it's best to let the naturalist help with. So many of you probably have learned that, okay, in time, it's not really the greatest thing to touch a butterfly's wings. And it's not great, but we can do it with our experience, just gently grabbing the butterfly and holding it in our hands, and then we can simply put that tag on, okay? All right, well, hopefully this is just a little bit of a explanation of why we're talking about butterflies this time of year, and we hope that you'll join us for our program sometime soon. Hi, we found some milkweed pods in the prairie at Babcock Woods, and we wanted to just show how they will go to seed this time of year, and they're very much a parachute kind of a seed. So this white fluff is merely just something to take them away from the parent plant. So the parent plant is the one that the milkweed pod came from. So the seed is actually this brown part right there, okay? And it has this little magical almost parachute that'll help take it away. So I'm gonna blow it. And of course I blew it right to the parent plant. That's not ideal. So should I try again? There's a whole bunch of seeds. Some of the seeds have already lost their seed and they may have fallen to the ground already. But in each one of these little pods, there's hundreds and hundreds of seeds. Okay, so we're gonna try again with this one. Are you ready? Okay, so we can keep doing that. I encourage you to help out and spread those seeds when you see them, especially in a place like this. Now, if mom and dad don't want them in their yard, that's okay, but you can maybe take them to a roadside ditch, because those roadsides are great places for the milkweed plants to grow. In Bremer County, we have a roadside manager, and he no longer sprays our ditches for milkweeds and just blanket sprays. So he does spray for noxious weeds, and that is kind of like a rule or a law that he has to follow, but not for the milkweeds anymore. Okay, so we got a few of them to really go. Can you see why they have that little white parachute that helps them kind of move? And the breeze is just enough today here in the prairie that it's taken them into the ditch over here. The neighbor probably doesn't like that though, from Babcock Woods anyway. But they're just really light and airy, and that is a fun thing to do, almost like blowing a dandelion seed. All right, hope you find some milkweed pods. Okay, we've caught another monarch. We're tagging it. We're putting that little tiny sticker right there on the bottom wing. Kind of gently push my thumb. He's very compliant, or she. You can see the abdomen, the two antennae here. His legs will unfold. Oh, or maybe she. Let's see, we're gonna gently open the wings. Oh, it is a she. Fantastic. No black dots down here on the bottom wings, and these hind wings really look like they're dark and highlighted there. Okay, so we're gonna let you zoom back just a little bit. You can see they do have 4 legs, which I know is different than most insects, but that's just the way they are. Not all insects follow the rules. The two antennae, you cannot see his proboscis, which is kind of hidden, and that's where he would drink nectar from. I tend to say he, sorry. I'm gonna open the wings now, and the butterfly will leave as it's ready. Sometimes it takes just a minute, and other times just a second.